Hey guys, this is Smithy. Welcome to my channel. Today's video is so very special. We're going to talk about the newest palette from Nomad Cosmetics. It is just been revealed on their Instagram, so I definitely wanted to show my video to you guys. It is the newest palette. It is called Chamonix, let me get this right, Chamonix Après-ski palette. I had Google translated this couple of times. I think it's Chamonix Apres-Ski. It is a France location and I love this color story. Wait till you see the inside of the palette. You know that they always support some kind of organization, and they're doing the same thing here. So they say, we are proud to support Inspire Mont Blanc association that works for better air quality and the protection of the environment in the Mont Blanc region. I really love whenever they do these kind of like color story, and now we're getting the bigger eyeshadow palette with 18 pan color story. All the shades are there on the back of the palette too, but let me show you the inside because I know you guys are waiting for that. The same artwork is on the palette too, and this is the color story. Look how stunning this is. This palette will launch on January 14th. They say a spectrum of winter pastels from soft and subdued to deep and decadent, formulated with extra fine pigments for soft as snow feel and rich as night color payoff, infused with Sea Buckthorn Oil to help the skin smooth like a fresh powder on the slopes. This palette has 9 wintry mattes and 9 twinkling shimmers inspired with this cherished tradition of après-ski in the alpine village of Chamonix. How stunning is this color story? I'm sure that you've seen all the swatches on the screen and the close-up shots of this palette too, because this palette definitely has some beautiful embossments too. Generally, this pan of eyeshadow palettes are like $49, but this can be a little bit more on the costlier side. Not sure about the price point, but I'll leave it on this screen for you guys just because there's those duochromes, and their mattes are so beautifully pigmented. They build so effortlessly. Of course, you're going to see 3 looks with this palette on my channel today, and of course the shimmers, the mattes, they're absolutely beautiful. Let's move on to live swatching the palette because I know you guys absolutely love it. We're going to do column by column. First the pink column, then the green column, and then the purpley blue column. So let's begin with that. I'm not going to pronounce it because all the shades here are like French words and I'm not good with this. Let's do all shimmers together. Let's do all mattes together. So those are the first 3 shimmers in the pink column. So twinkly and sparkly. Very pretty. So pretty. These are one swipe swatches and you can definitely see those dimensions and the shifts coming through. Really pretty. Let's move on to the mattes. So those are the pink tones in this palette. Really pretty shades. These two may appear a lot closer, but when I see it, it's definitely different. This is more like a pastel, like a muted pink purple, and this is more like a brightening shade, like blending shade and stuff like that. Okay, let's move on to the green column. All the first shade in the column look very sparkly. Actually, all of them are very sparkly, but especially that first iridescent shades, they look super sparkly and duochromy and shifty. Yeah, I totally see like a pinky, like a pink to a green flip going on there, and extremely sparkly. I hope you can see those shifts. Really pretty. Let's move on to the mattes. They have some amazing mattes. I swear, I feel like they always just improve their formula with every palette that they launch. So that is the green column. Look how perfect it is. So pretty. Let's move on to that purple and the blue column. The looks that can come, like monochromatic looks that can come with this column, is amazing. So pretty. So sparkly, so beautiful, very pretty. Let's move on to the mattes. So stunning. Look at that. I love this. So perfect. Now that you've seen all the swatches in action, let me show you this palette all swatched in completely together so that you can see all the shifts, dimension, all the sparkle, everything under like a low lighting too. Now once you've seen all the swatches, let's move on to the 3 looks that I curated using this palette. Let's begin with our first look. I am so excited with this palette. The color story is so pretty. Today is my anniversary, by the way. I want to dip into these tones so very much. So I think that I can mix like those sagey greens with this muted pink. You know how much I love my muted shades. So I feel like that will just do perfect sense. So let's begin. I'm going to start off with that shade called Ski, which is that mid-tone green shade, this one, the matte mid-tone green shade, and see how deep it is, because then we can mix it up with fondue shade. Yeah, that's pretty much what I was thinking. So pretty, right? So pretty. They're very, very unique tones. I do have Chicago Speakeasy as well as Polar Express with me, and none of the shades are remotely even similar to those palette shades. So I was very, very happy to see that. So once we have that Ski shade across the inner part of the crease, look how stunning that is. I love it. Okay, I am gonna take the shade Fondue, this one, the lighter matte green shade, with the same brush, and I'm just gonna blend the edges of that green just to give more of a blended look. Just right there. I hope you can see that difference. That's so pretty. I'm also gonna do the same thing with the pink shades too. So I'm gonna first start off with this shade, this muted pink shade, and then we'll blend it out with this shade. Let's see how we can use this, okay? Or actually, let's start off with this mid-tone pink shade and see how deep it is. I'm not pronouncing much shade names just because I don't want to butcher it. Yeah, so I would take that as like a blending shade because it's more like a pastel-y muted pink on me. You can clearly see that happening. So it'll be like a good blending shade, I would say. So just keep it underneath the brow bone, melting it with that sagey greens. Yeah, that'll just give me so much like a light look. I'm gonna do the same thing on the crease with this deeper tone muted pink shade. Oh, that's such an amazing tone. That's so pretty. Those tones together, look at that. I love it, love it. I'm gonna do the same thing on the other eye. I'm filming way in advance. At this point of time, Nomad has not even started doing their guessing game. So I have ample amount of time to film with this palette, do even more looks, and give you my final opinion. And today being my anniversary, I wanted to do something very special. Okay, I love a good depth in the outer corners. That's not news to anyone. I am gonna take this shade, and this is more like an aubergine purple shade, and I feel like that would actually help us to deepen out any look that we want from this palette. I'm just gonna tap it right there. I don't want to lose that muted pink purple shade, so I'm just gonna tap it right on the outer corner. Okay, all the shades are melting very, very beautifully with each other. I love a good Nomad quality, and this is giving it to us. Look how stunning that is. I love it. I love a good green purple look, and this is giving it to me. Now once we have that all across the eyelid, I'm going to take that deeper aubergine shade on my outer corner of the lower lash line just to make it flow together, just right there. I'm going to take that the mid-tone purple shade, and I'm going to take that on the outer corner of the lower lash line and just blend everything out. And we'll use the same sage green shade on the shade called Ski, on the inner part of the lower lash line. That ties everything superbly. That's so pretty. Okay, now for the shimmers. Oh, I love these shimmers so very much. I'm gonna just take a little bit of NYX Glitter Glue. I want to take a little bit of the shade. I'm not pronouncing anything because everything is in French and I do not know French, okay? I'm gonna take that shade. The embossments are also so pretty. I'm gonna take that on the outer part, like from the middle to the outer part, and melting it with that deep dark aubergine shade. So pretty, right? This is so vibrant, so sparkly. I love a good Nomad shimmer. It's amazing, so pretty. I do have a code with Nomad Cosmetics. It's Smithy Sony to save you 10% off. I feel like Nomad palettes are already a lot affordable as compared to the other indie brands, and they give us such a good quality in their palettes. I love it. I'm gonna take that shade Après, this one, the lighter tone sage green shade. I think Après is mountain, right? I think. Oh, look at that. And then melting it together right where they meet. So pretty. If you dip into those columns, it can give you such beautiful monochromatic looks. I love the way like Nomad does the curation of the palettes. I really love it. I'm gonna take that shade Last Run, the mid-tone shimmer in the palette, and I'm just gonna take that right in where these two shades meet. I feel like that will be a good meshing shade. Yeah, that's all that we needed. That's such a pretty, like a duochrome shade. Very pretty. And it'll be so handy for like everyday looks too. Ah, that's so pretty. Yep, I love it. Now I'm gonna take this shade, this one, that's the name of the palette, Chamonix. And I'm gonna take that. It's such a sparkling iridescent duochrome. It's like a white to a green. Oh, wow! That's amazing. That is so pretty. Oh, so sparkly too, love it. I'm gonna take that in the inner corner. This shade actually immediately reminded me of the Singe Beauty, one of the Singe Beauty shades in the palette. Those toppery shades. Very pretty, man. So pretty. I'm gonna finish off this eye with some liner and mascara and I'll get right back. And that's my first eye look. I love the way how this eye turned out. It's so muted. It's pastel-y but muted but colorful at the same time. I love a good muted color story. You guys know that. And I am absolutely feeling this eye look. I love the way how this turned out. Cannot wait for the second look. So let's begin. Okay, let's begin with our second eye look. We definitely have to play with those murky, purpley, bluey shades. So let's do that. Yesterday, I swatched this palette. The simplest looks would be the best. Like one matte and then one toppery shimmer on the eyelid. It'll be so magical. I really cannot wait to wear this to office and create like simple looks. Okay, let's begin. I am going to start off with this dusty purple shade because you know me and my purples. So I definitely need to do that. So let's take that. Gonna start off with the outer corner and then blend it down into the crease. My kids are still awake. I can hear them. Hopefully you cannot hear them. And I'm also gonna take that on the lower lash line too. That's such a beautiful tone of dusty purple. Really pretty. It's like very wintry, icy kind of vibes. I really love it. Next, we are gonna dip into that aubergine shade, like the eggplant shade, and we're gonna deepen out the outer corner. Look how stunning that shade is against actually every single matte in this palette. It's so pretty. I'm also gonna take that same shade on the outer corner of the lower lash line, just a little bit. I'm gonna take a smaller blending brush with this shade. It's like a dusty blue shade. I feel like that will melt in with the dusty purple really nicely and help with the blending. Yeah, look at that. So pretty. So pretty. I'm gonna take this shade, this dusty pinky shade, I would say, and I'm gonna take that on the inner portion of the crease and melt it with that purple. Look how beautifully it melted together. So pretty. Going back into that dusty purple, going back and forth and just blending each other. Taking this soft pink shade and then just blending around. I'm gonna take these two shimmers, this one and this one. Let's do that. I'm gonna take that on the middle of the crease, middle of the lid, I would say, and melt it down with that deep eggplant shade. It's a very glowy kind of shade, but it's very thin, but it does have like a good impact on the eye. Of course, when you use the fingers, it'll be 10 times more sparkly and shifty for sure. Now taking that light dusty purple shimmer shade, and I'm gonna just take that on the inner part of the lid and melt it with that blue. I'm gonna take this shade, Le Après, this one. I'm gonna start off here. Oh, see, it has like that blue iridescent vibe to it. It'll come so very beautifully along with this eye look. Just gonna top it and then also on the inner corner and wrap it around. It's like that pink to a blue shifting iridescent shade. Very pretty. Let me finish off this eye with some liner and mascara. And that's my second eye look. I love how icy it is, how blue it is. It's so ethereal looking on the eyes. I really love how soft it is. That's what I'm looking for. It's so pretty on the eyes. It's so airy. I love the whole vibe of it. I personally do not love like a lot of like greens and blues on me, but I feel like this I can totally wear it just because of that dustiness, that airiness that it is giving to me. I really love it. Okay, let's move on to the third look, and of course we have to use some greens, right? you know how much I was like avoiding greens, right? Okay, so let's begin and see what we're gonna do. I am gonna start with that deepest green, which is Mont Blanc. And I'm gonna take that on the outer corner. It's superbly pigmented. There you go, look at that. It's so vibrant. Okay, I'm gonna go into the ski shade, which is that mid-tone green. This one. Go over the edges first and just blend that deeper green first. And then just pull it down into the crease. This shade matches with my top so well. So pretty. I'm also going to take that same shade on the lower lash line. We've used all the mattes in the palette, so let's use this green too. Fondue. I'm just going to take that right there as a blending and a brightening shade. You can totally create such beautiful like all matte looks with this palette. Because of that gradient that they have provided, it's amazing. I'm also taking that deepest green in the extreme outer corner, just connecting it, just right there. I want to use this deep dark blue shimmer shade, and then we'll merge it out with this toppery iridescent shade. So let's take that. It's called Short Ski. I'm gonna take that right here on my eyelid. Just connecting it with that green. Now I'm taking the shade Chamonix, that iridescent duochrome shade. I'm gonna take that right there and then melt it down with that blue. Look how stunning that shade is, and so sparkly too. Looks like a peacock on this eye. You would hardly know that it's coming out with this white shade. It's so pretty. I'm gonna just focus that on the crease and just to melt it down with that blue. I don't want any shimmer on the inner corner just because the eyelid are speaking for itself. For the inner corner, I am going to take that fondue shade, the palest green shade, and I'm going to just pack that in the inner corner because that will give us the brightness that we want without giving us the shimmer. Yeah, I think that will just tie up everything together. Yeah, let me finish off this eye with some liner and mascara. And that's my third and the final eye look. I love this look. It looks like a peacock. It is vibrant for sure, but it is definitely so beautiful and iridescent. I really love the way how this turned out. And I also feel like, of course, I've mixed and matched so much. And I've mentioned this before, you can totally stay in the column and create some beautiful monochromatic looks. But also, two shadow looks would be the most amazing things, and they have curated it for you. Like, I feel like if you just go in pairs, you definitely can create some beautiful looks. I love the way how this palette is curated, and I've loved each and every eye look that I created using this palette. Very pleased about it. Do let me know in the comment section below, out of the three looks, which one was your favorite. I have used every single shade in this palette. I've used every single shade in this palette, and none of the shades have given any problems to me. I love the way how this palette is curated. I do not doubt Nomad's quality one bit, and this color story is truly calling out to me. You know, I love a good purple thing and like a muted, like pinky mauvey tone color story. I am totally out of the comfort zone of the greens, but saying that, these greens look so yummy on the eyes, I really love the choice of the mattes and the shimmers that were chosen in this palette, because I really feel that each and every shade that is curated in this palette definitely has its place. I love it. I absolutely love it. I cannot wait to see what all they have coming in future for us. But that's all for today. If you did like my video, you know what to do. Do give it a thumbs up and also subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And ring that notification bell so that you're notified every time that I post next. I do have a code with Nomad Cosmetics. It's Smithy Sony to save you 10% off. I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.